Welcome back to the latest episode of the CGA Tour. I'm your host, Calvin Glen Alexander. And on this episode of the podcast, I'm joined by Walter Agnitsch because it's another episode of The Catch-Up, which is definitely well overdue here. I catch up with my best friend here, co-founder of the BedlamBrother.com website and Bedlam Brother podcast with me back in the day, a couple years ago.
It has been long overdue, Calvin. I've been looking forward to Saturday since we'd set it up a few days ago. It's a lot of stuff's happened in that time, so we got a lot to catch up on, which is great. And also just the fact of the success of your other shows. For the listeners that haven't listened to his recent episode with Derek going over the NBA mock draft, I just don't know if I make the cut anymore. That's some great listening for those that haven't listened to it. Great information, and I'm just that guy now.
You're the dude. You're the dude. You got to have you on. I think it's more scheduling scheduling issues than anything else.
I am not worthy anymore to be on this platform.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no.
Too kind there.
Those first 10 minutes I listened to were just big time. It's a great listen. Usually, I like to mess around and tell people, listen to my take on the catch up. But I have no retort. Derek really knows what he's talking about. You and Derek and Jake all know what you're talking about. So I've got nothing, Calvin. Back to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for those kind words. I think you're more welcome anytime though to join on the catch up. I think it's more of a scheduling difference with the time change and married life versus me trying to go to the gym every single day I can. All type of good stuff too. So I don't know, with all being said here, we haven't talked really at all since the Thunder got the second overall draft pick. And that's where I want to lead things off. Both of us, avid and loyal Thunder fans. I mean, of course, I've got the Thunder flag here right behind me. Who do you want to see the Thunder take with the second overall pick? Let's say everyone's available. Let's say for some reason the Magic skip their pick or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, easy question. Easy answer for me, at least in my book. If everyone's available, I'm going Jabari Smith. Shooting 44% from three, 7'4" wingspan, 6'10". He needs to put on a little muscle, but perimeter defense looked great. Being able to get to the bucket looked good, and of course, shot creation looked great, which is things that you really need to be a superstar in the league. So no, hands down, if Jabari is available, I think they should draft him 100 times.
Jabari is available. It's a party for Jabari. I love it. I personally would say the same, just because I think that's what this team needs. After talking with Derek and really just kind of knowing as a Thunder fan, like we were not good at all 3-point percentage or really shooting percentage last year. That's one of the reasons why the Thunder just weren't great. Now there's a variety of other reasons. SGA and Giddey being out of the lineup, et cetera, and maybe trying to lose a couple more games than we all thought. Who knows? We still hit the Vegas. I think under on the win total this year, but like by a half a game. So,
and that's because we chose to go under.
Yeah,
we were sitting half the team, and I mean, at the end of the season, we had like 3 10-day contracts that were playing 50 minutes a game. If that even exists.
We beat the Suns by 20, like with a healthy Chris Paul or healthy-ish. Who knows what happened at the end of the season there? But yeah, it's just bizarre. What do you think about the finals though so far? We've got Western Conference Finals. We're going to see the Warriors back in. I don't know.
I hate the Warriors. I hate the Warriors. Right. Oh my gosh. Right. They had 2 years of Kevin Durant winning the finals, and then the 1 year that they won it without him, LeBron was missing Kyrie and Kevin Love. Memphis was all beat up. The Thunder weren't even in the playoffs. I can't remember who else was hurt in that. But anywho, this year they played the Nuggets in the first round, who are missing 2 of their top 3 players. Memphis, which had a ridiculous suspension of Dylan Brooks after he'd been thrown out of the first quarter, and then Ja Morant being hurt. Dallas, they were missing Tim Hardaway. I understand injuries are part of it, but as Joel and I like to joke around, this season has an asterisk on it, and so even if they win the title, it's not a real title. That one's for you, Go.
Well, what if the Celtics or the Heat win? Then is it a real title? Still no.
I just hate the Warriors. I'll find another excuse, Calvin.
I'm saying that if the Warriors don't win it, I'm saying if the Warriors don't win it, then is it
Oh,
still?
yeah, no, asterisk removed. Yes, that is
Asterisk
correct.
removed. Yeah, so it's just really Warriors hate, which I agree with. I'm not a Warriors fan. You're not going to catch me being a Warriors fan whatsoever. I was trying to look up a stat here for a second, but there's something about seeing the Warriors play basketball, which is fun after a little bit, and then you kind of realize, oh wait a second, it's all jump shooting. Like it's all jump shooting, and Andrew Wiggins, like, okay, good defender, but he's getting praise for playing defense against Luka Doncic when Luka still is going for 40. So, I mean, what he stopped him from going to 80, you know? It's just kind of ridiculous.
I do have to say one thing. This is the only nice thing I'll say about the Warriors today or the rest of my life. That dunk on Luka Doncic where he clearly flopped was one of the greatest dunks I've ever seen. That I had nothing to say for that. That was just an unbelievable dunk. And then for Luka to flop there at the end, I think he should have been given a technical foul. That was embarrassing. It's like he knew he was going to get dunked on, so he's like, I'm just going to fake getting hit in the face.
Yeah, he was really trying to sell it there. He was trying to sell a couple of them. I don't. Where do you stand on the Luka fandom? Not in. What do you
think? He needs to pick up defense. There was a couple times on Warriors rotations that he just did not rotate, and that left wide open layups for Steph Curry. Luka's one of the greatest scorers in the game. Don't get me wrong, but until he picks up his defense. But then again, I don't know what it would have been like if they would have had Tim Hardaway, who is probably arguably one of their best defenders on the team. So.
Yeah, and he's definitely a great shot maker and kind of creator. I understand it's a little bit less off the dribble than you'd want, and it's nothing like Luka comparatively, but
Jason Kidd needs to be fired.
Whoa. Okay.
Jason Kidd needs to be fired. An entire series and no Boban. He only puts Boban in during the Suns game, and guess what? He tore it up. Got into a fight. That's what you want your big man to do is, make a physical mentality for your team. And Boban did not get any. I don't think he did. He might have, I guess, in some of the beatdowns that I stopped watching because I was too annoyed with the Warriors. But not enough minutes for Boban, so Jason Kidd's out.
The Warriors were really out rebounding the Mavs. I feel like if you put a guy who's 7 foot tall plus in Boban down there, you're not going to get out rebounded as bad. Maybe your defense is worse just because they're drawing Boban out to the perimeter all the time. But
don't forget, he's also got fighting skills, John Wick.
Ooh.
So
okay.
That just goes back to the toughness, the mentality that the Mavericks were missing.
The toughness of Boban. Well, other couple questions I had here is that we're in the, I don't want to say the middle of MLB season because it's not even June, but MLB season's well underway here. What's like the best ballpark you think you've ever been to?
Oh man, I think we've talked about this story before, but in case we haven't, I've been to a San Francisco Giants Dodgers game right after Manny Ramirez had gotten lifted from his PED suspension, and so I was in, I think it was AT&T Park at the time. I don't know if they changed the name. Or maybe it was SBC. I can't remember. I was in left field, and oh my gosh, the things that I heard, the fights that broke out. The Dodgers and the Giants is a big-time rivalry that I did not understand until I went to one of the games, and it was unbelievable. And of course, the Dodgers absolutely beat the brakes off of us, and Manny was playing left field, and that's where we were at, and that's where he was getting the worst of it. And in the 8th inning, it's like 8-0, and he's up to bat, and he crushes it over our heads into that little slide area behind the park.
Yeah,
and I think bottle. That was the Coke bottle. I think that was him saying, "Yep, good night." But he was on PED, so I don't know.
I never know at all. If I'm taking all of my fandom and homerism out of it, I would say it's definitely what is now Oracle Park, which is the same place, Giant Stadium. You're looking over McCovey Cove and the ocean. It's a beautiful ballpark overall. If I leave my fandom in it, though, and USA Today's #1 ballpark in 2022, Petco Park.
Yeah, all right.
So got to go Padres for sure.
They are a close second in my book. We have a video we can upload where you actually let me make a call. Granted, no one was playing, but I still made the call.
Yeah, you made the call. Over the loudspeaker. It was great. It was just a beautiful call overall. We'll see if we can get that one up from the archives.
They call me the Brockmeyer of modern times.
The Brockmeyer. Love it. Love it. Not the Walter Cronkite. You're not going to stick with the Walter name at all. Be unbiased,
Brockmeyer is way better than Walter Cronkite.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not even close. Walter's done some good things, don't get me wrong, but he's no Brockmeyer.
Okay. Fair enough.
Even though Brockmeyer's not real, but he is real in my heart.
Then that's what matters at the end of the day. I mean, what are we even talking about at this point? That's what really matters here. I got some research to do after this podcast, clearly, though, about that. So,
it's a great show. It's a great show.
Yeah,
one of the greatest shows. But we're talking baseball, Calvin. But
I know
we're not even. That's not the subject of today. It's softball.
Well, OSU. It's Oklahoma State.
OU. Yeah. Both. Well, OSU locked yesterday. OU's going to lock today. Trips to Oklahoma City. And I for one cannot wait. I'm going to go down next weekend to see a couple games. There
you go. You got to. You're going to support the Cowboys, of course, right? I can mail you a shirt or two.
No, I'm going with Natties for Patty. I'm going to go Patty Gasso, who is
Wait, UCO hired Patty Gasso?
No. I know I'm repping UCO. The UCO women's softball team is doing great in their own division. Okay. I don't know where they're at in the standings or the playoffs, but no, we are going with the greatest softball coach ever, possibly greatest coach ever. Maybe John Wooden, Nick Saban, then Patty third. Patty wins a couple more titles, and we'll talk. We might move her up.
That's insane.
It's not insane. Have you seen what she's done? She has 2 losses on the year.
And you know what one of them was
Texas
too?
A&M.
You know who one of the losses is too in the Big 12 championship? Go Pokes, baby.
So here's the deal. This is how you know Patty Gasso is the greatest coach ever. During the original Dream Team, Coach Daly had the Dream Team scrimmage some college players. He intentionally threw the game with rotations by putting out like 4 centers and 3 centers, and Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson lost to the college team. But he did it on purpose to remind them that they are a beatable team. So,
are you saying Patty Gasso threw the Big 12 championship?
Yes, to remind her team.
Walter.
Her team that you can lose. Calvin, they just beat Texas A&M 20-0 in 5 innings. It was 10-0 in 1 inning. They just beat the number 16 team last night in 5 innings again.
But they couldn't beat Oklahoma State. The Big 12 championship? They threw the Big 12 championship? Walter. Calvin, I get throwing a game in the regular season or whatever. They're not throwing the Big 12 championship.
The series before the Big 12 tournament was OU-OSU, and OU won all 3 games. She threw
one of those games. Why would you throw one of those games?
She threw the game.
Hear me out. Yep. You got seniors on the roster. Mm-hmm. You've got the whole entire team basically winning the Big 12 championship every single year before then. Mm-hmm. It's long. I mean, I don't know how many years it is in a row, right? Mm-hmm. They threw the Big 12 championship.
They threw the Big 12 championship game, and also
because Patty Gasso was like, "Oh, this team's letting off the gas a little too much by winning 20-0 and 10-0 in games and run rolling everyone and only losing 1 game this entire season." Nope, 1 game. That 1 game they lost, we've got to let off the gas pedal to make sure that Oklahoma State has a feel good story at the end of the year.
Bingo. And she's also sympathetic to the OSU cause. So, you can thank her.
Cause? What are we?
Yeah, so
OSU wins and we give $1 million to kids in need? What's our cause here?
The OSU coach was on OU staff, right?
No.
For softball? No? He didn't go to OU?
No. He went to Florida. Kenny Guys who's from Florida. Yep.
Okay, well, never mind then. I thought I'd heard a story where he'd actually worked under Patty. But this is another point we need to bring up. So there was the COVID year where there were no spring sport championships. I would like to argue that title should be given to OU just because how good they've been these last couple of years.
Well, how long have you been an OU softball fan? Just specifically the sport of softball.
Yeah,
for OU. I know you've been an OU fan for a while.
You can thank my mom for that. it's I've gone to tons of college softball World Series, not just OU, because there was after they won it in 2002, there was a real 10-year gap. They were there, but they didn't win it. But there was about a 5-year gap where they weren't in it at all, and I was still going.
Okay, and I I have to correct myself here. I was wrong. You were right in this. Kenny Gajewski was an OU baseball grad assistant in 1995. I'm trying to see.
Maybe I am worthy
here.
for
I'm
your
looking
podcast again, Calvin.
Here's from 2007 onward, he was the owner and operator of 3 Norman, Oklahoma-based turf businesses. I'm trying to go back here and read to see where he went to college at. If I'm wrong here, I'm going to be very annoyed if Kenny Gajewski actually went to OU. But I don't know.
Well, it might have just been the grad assistant thing.
Might have just been the grad assistant deal. But, I mean, I was wrong. With that being said here, I want to ask you about some movies coming out this summer, though. Some big blockbusters.
It's a big-time summer movie fest, and I am all here for it, Calvin. Huge. I'm finishing up some great TV shows, leaving my summer open for movies. Except Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan just came out, and that's going to go into the summer. But we just finished Winning Time. Working on finishing up a show called We Crashed. Ted Lasso season 3, I think, is coming out in August.
What? No way. That's
quick. I think so. But no, it's been a great year for television. Euphoria season 2 was unbelievable.
It's not a show I've seen before. Euphoria.
You've never seen Euphoria? Great show.
I've heard great things about it. I've also heard very interesting things about it.
Doctor Strange was phenomenal. Spider-Man, I know that was in December. That was phenomenal.
Well, are you seeing Top Gun and Thor: Love and Thunder, or one of the two? What's the go-to summer blockbuster this year?
So Thor: Love and Thunder, I will do my usual midnight release. Well, it's not really midnight anymore, but the Thursday night release. There's a movie theater, big-time movie theater here that does the IMAX. It's called the Warren Theater and more. And so I have to follow all the Twitter accounts. So when tickets get released, I can immediately buy that 7:00 showing Thursday night. It's great atmosphere. People are not afraid to cheer. Like whenever Tobey Maguire came out, I gave a standing ovation for him, even though he wasn't there. People dress up. Usually for Marvel movies, I've been dressing up as Black Panther for, but I feel like maybe it's time to mix it up and dress up as someone else. But yeah, no, for that, we will be going to Thursday night release, 7 p.m., IMAX Warren, and I'm all here for it. Now, Top Gun, we've obviously missed that because that was last night. I will be seeing it. I don't know if it'll be this weekend. I still haven't seen the new Fantastic Beasts movie yet, but I definitely will be seeing that as well.
Okay. A lot there. I'm going to see the Top Gun and Thor. I don't know if I'll see the Fantastic Beasts movie, I got to say.
Have you seen the first two?
No.
Yeah, well, they kind of screwed the pooch with the Johnny Depp thing, firing him, which, it's a hot button subject, but in my opinion, they shouldn't have fired him.
Can I ask this about I have not gone over this at all publicly in any shape, form, or fashion with anyone. Why is this Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing so big? Why is this a deal?
I think it's because it's kind of after Amber Heard released her information, Johnny Depp immediately was fired from all his sponsorships. Like I know he does that cologne. He was supposed to be in Fantastic Beasts and they fired him. There's a couple other movies he's lost, so he's pretty much lost all of his being able to be in movies, his career, and he's claiming it's all a lie. And there's 7 weeks of the trial that's been going on, and you hear little bits and tidbits, and you still really don't know exactly what happened between the two, but
at all. By the way,
it kind of appears that she might have been lying about it. So
I feel like she could have been lying, or it could all be true, and she just could not be as eloquent as you would think a movie star would be. And Johnny Depp could just be really good at playing the cool guy at the end of the day in these trials.
Could be true too. Yeah.
And the fact that it's on TV, but I don't know, the Roe versus Wade conversations aren't on TV. It's just a weird place right in American politics. That's all I'll say on that. All I'll say. Leave it at the door. Yeah. What kind of questions you got for me here today? What was
have you watched Winning Time yet?
I have. Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic show.
Yeah, it's awesome. I will say
in my power rankings of like weirdest show possibly for your roommate to walk in on you watching. Winning Time, number 1, easy, top bar there. I don't know what else makes the power ranking list, but like probably other HBO shows, probably Euphoria.
Oh yeah,
it's probably one that's up there from what I've heard about Euphoria.
Nope. Right, that's correct.
Movies, there'd be a ton, but just shows, randomly roommate would walk in from his room or going, being out doing something or whatever, and just kind of staring like, oh, what are you watching? I was like, oh, Winning Time. And then there should be a cutscene of Magic Johnson just hooking up with the girl and then back, but it doesn't really explain in the meantime that I'm watching Winning Time. So very odd.
Warning, very Winning odd. Time is not for children.
Under the age of 20.
Yeah. Great show. I was actually catching up with one Joel DeNicolo, Goat, and he had not watched the show yet because of his kids.
True. Okay, solid point.
Because he's being a great dad and not letting his kids see that. So
good call. Winning Time's almost too old for me. I mean, at 28.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say about Winning Time is I feel like they were all up in arms midway through the show when they're talking about all this stuff. But the way they resolved every character, including Jerry West's character, I feel like they're like, oh yeah, no, that's actually a good ending because they relatively made all the characters look good besides the one that had the cocaine problem, Spencer Haywood trying to kill everybody. And then, I mean, Magic Johnson's, I'll just say personal things. They really didn't put that to rest, but everything else, I mean, Kareem looked like a freaking leader of men. Jerry looked like he was able to get it together. And I mean, granted, he still had those little anger outfits in game 6 of the finals, which was really funny. Of course, Jerry Buss was kind of weird throughout the whole movie, but
I feel like
movie show.
No one's getting a pro portrayal of themselves. Like no one's going, hey, kids, this is exactly how it was. No, not one of no matter how truthful it is and how embellishing it is or whatever, not one of those guys who's like actually, Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Kareem, whoever. Not one of those guys is like, oh, that's representative of my career in the least bit. They're all like, nope, that has nothing to do with me. That's all fake. Because it's just, one, a lot easier to say that just as like a blanket statement versus picking apart every little thing. But 2, there is some stuff there where I'm like, okay, was Jerry West really like this? Like, was he really, I mean? Like, was he really, did he throw the like MVP trophy like through the window of his, and like break it several times, clearly where he's gluing it back together? Like, that seems a little insane, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's funny that the 2 seconds at the end of the show, it always says some of these moments have been dramatized or fictionized. I'm wondering if he wasn't quite as angry as that, but man, I think a lot of it's true. They based it on the book. And then another thing is Norm Nixon, the actor who plays Norm Nixon is Norm Nixon's son.
Great casting call, by the way.
I have a feeling that Norm Nixon's okay with it, meaning that there wasn't a whole lot bended from the truth.
Well, have you watched like the little like after show kind of deals of the interview?
There's after shows I need to watch.
Yeah, well, they kind of do like their own like sit down like kind of podcast deal about the show after, kind of like recapping the show or what's been going on. And I remember I haven't watched all of those, but I watched the first couple, and I remember Norm Nixon's like, yeah, I was talking to my dad about it. My dad was basically told me, oh, well, have fun, but just know it's not all true. Kind of like. Good job on getting a job here with an HBO, but just know that that's not all me. I'm still your dad, like, type of deal, which is just a great line to have.
That just
overall.
sounds like something any dad would say if you're going to go play. He goes, "Hey, I know in the script it's going to say I did lines of cocaine, but that wasn't your dad."
Yeah, Spencer Hayward did try to kill me at one point, but it was over a rebounding argument we had in the locker room. About situational role play stuff, not about the amount of money we were spending on cocaine or, whatever it is, right? Like, we're not over any card game or bets or whatever. It's the very PG version.
It's absolutely true. Oh. I just also kind of think he might be the type of father like I would imagine myself being and being like, yeah, no, I made a lot of mistakes. You're about to see a lot of messed up things your old man did.
I wonder at the end of the day, like, what they're going to do with season 2. How far do we jump? How far do we do we jump a couple years? Do we stay with just next season?
Man, I don't know. I don't care. And John C. Reilly we trust. I don't care.
Yeah.
Or I said on in
yeah, I knew what you meant. It does sound a little bit weird when you just laid off a sentence with in John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
We trust. This is kind of an awkward silence there. What's your new business idea though? What we got cooking up here?
I've got a great business idea that me and one of my bosses thought up. Okay. So we were talking about the show We Crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Great show. Love Jared Leto in it. Great show. You got to go watch it on Apple TV. But Anne Hathaway stars in it. And so I was discussing Anne Hathaway and I said, yeah, Anne Hathaway just to me appears to be a jerk in real life, just based off of her characteristics, her facial characteristics. I have nothing to back this up. I just said, hey, she kind of looks like a jerk. And so that made me think, what if we developed a website? Now, keep in mind, this is for if a fan sees a celebrity and says, are they a jerk in real life, or can I approach them to tell them how awesome they are and take a picture? Well, what do you think they do? They go to jerkornojerk.com, a website that we start, and on that website, we'll have a couple different options. It'll be first impression, jerk or no jerk, just like what we did with Anne Hathaway. Then, if they are a jerk, we'll back it up with whatever proof that we have, stories, articles, or anything like that would explain why we think they're not approachable, or if they're an extremely nice person and you should go up and take a photo with them. Everything of why they're so nice. That way, as a fan, right off the bat before you approach them, hey, are they going to be a jerk or not a jerk? Could even do a CGA Tour podcast about it.
We could definitely do a CGA Tour podcast. I would leave it with that though, just because. Have you ever seen? Did you watch Community? It was on TV, or now it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen 2-3 seasons of it. Yeah.
Okay, so there is the episode name in the 5th season, episode 8, app development and condiments. I'm not sure if you remember, but they have basically like some app guy comes into the school and says, hey, I'm trying out this app. Will you guys test drive it for me?
Are you telling me the idea's already been done? Are you about to crush my dreams?
No. I'm just gonna say how it was done. It was kind of half. I'm saying, telling you, it was halfway done, in a TV show. But here's the deal with it: is basically the whole episode goes, oh, you have these things, and you have a rating system. They're called Meow Meow Beans because I think the show's trying to be funny, which is whatever, because they say that 7,000 times. Because you have this many Meow Meow Beans, this many whatever. So that's if funny. You have 5 or 6, you're the best ever. You have 1 or 2, you're the lowest person ever, right? So this seems like a great way of just really upping a celebrity's public image. You can just get a bunch of just people boosting in there. I'm not sure how we'd
give the celebrities an option to pay us to give them fake ratings.
Possible. Wow. I mean, I think that's a great way to make money.
I didn't even think about that. Wow.
You know what celebrities have? Money.
Celebrities have.
And you know what celebrities want to do? Increase the public image. So it sounds like this is a winning idea.
Yeah. Well, maybe we just started
out.
Also
sounds like a weird segment of society to start rating people based on if they're approachable or not in public. Just thought. Sounds like a weird, kind of good, not bad, not
weird. I mean, this is
kind of bad. Okay. Kind of bad.
No,
not horrible.
Close your eyes. Okay. Well, I've got to think of someone now. Who am I going to think of? Okay, you probably already know this person. Okay, you see Brandon Whedon walking down the street. You're like, oh, cool. I love Brandon Whedon. I wonder if he's going to be cool if I go up to him and take a picture. Would it not be awesome to go to a website firsthand to see, oh, is he cool or not, before you approach Brandon Whedon?
It would be cool. I'm with you on that part of it. Mm-hmm. It would be cool.
Or
it would be weird for Brandon Whedon to know that there's a website rating him about if he's approachable or not in public. That's where I'm at.
There's a website rating him as a football player. You call that weird?
No.
It's called ESPN.
that is his stats. That's not like today Brandon Whedon had scrambled eggs, bacon, and French toast. So he's going to put on a light rest of the day eating wise. There's not like a day-by-day tracker of this dude. Brandon Whedon last spotted. Like there's actually another show that was on HBO called Newsroom. Had like a celebrity tracker app, like fake thing. I don't know why I remember these two things really separately here about TV shows. But that was weird. I'm just saying, I think the idea is really, really good. But let's say that this episode of The Catch Up blows up, right? You and I all of a sudden are known as local media stars, right?
It'd be great.
It'd be insanely cool. But are we going, you know what I want people to be able to do is rate me off of one random appearance in a Starbucks for half of a second when I was running late? That's all I'm saying.
So I can understand that. That's why there's going to be multiple statistics on it. It's not going to be the one experience at Starbucks. Wait, look, okay.
So is it like, he smiled and was polite when he said, "I'm so sorry, I'm running late"?
Yeah, no. Here's the deal.
We're getting technical.
Close your eyes. Okay. Close your eyes again. Okay. I met Shaq. I did, and he was not in the best of moods. But guess what? I understood that he was having a rough day, and that he's a great person. And I forgave him. I'm not going to put him on the jerk list because he was having a bad day. I'm fair. I don't know why I had to close my eyes. I just thought it was funny.
I'm not really sure why you did either, but I was very obedient in that fact. I closed my eyes all the way until you said I'm not sure why. You gotta be watching the CGA Tour episodes on YouTube. It's just hilarious at this point. You can see the whole. You can see weirdly like a third, like 2/3 of my TV playing the Oklahoma State Texas baseball game here.
We also saw like 6 Jurassic Park previews, which we haven't talked about either, which we're super excited for.
Now it's like 7/8 of the TV. Shout out. I think it's a great idea. Don't get me wrong. Okay, look, I don't think you and we gotta fine tune some things because not everyone has your and I's sense not everyone I know is a great person. Say it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
I know great people. I know great people. I think most everyone in society has a good mindset. I got to put out that positivity and encouragement to everyone else to have a great day. But with that being said, all of us have our bad moments, myself included. And the level-headedness, there'd be a lot of vetting in this app, right? A lot of like, are you a verified reviewer? How many reviews you done? There'd be a lot of verification in this just to make sure that someone didn't just have a really bad day and then review somebody badly just because they thought they saw him. That's you know what I mean? Like a lot of verification reviewing.
Yeah, nope, I get it. Calvin, close your eyes. Just hear me out. Close your eyes once.
All right, third time.
All right, we next catch up, we just do one segment, we test one celebrity, and we see how it goes. Can we do that? You can open your eyes again.
Why am I closing my eyes?
I don't know. I just think
there's no visual imagery you're giving me there to close my eyes to paint a picture.
The first time there was. You visioned
the second and third time, though, I've both fallen for it. I don't know why. Walter, at the end of the day, I think it's a great idea. Because you'd want to be able to go, oh, you know what? Like, okay, I saw Tom Holland, right? Like, big Spider-Man fan, saw Tom Holland, but like huge movie star randomly in public. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But is he cool if I go say hi? It would be good to know. At the same point, we just gotta work on that verification process. Like, who's reviewing these people? Is this?
I get it. Yeah.
If this is him saying, "Hey, it's totally cool if people come approach me in public. Just understand, like, if I just like kind of go, hey, I'm so sorry that I really just mean I'm so sorry and I'm running late, and you got to deal with it, right? Like, maybe we just pull up like interviews on each celebrity and kind of see when they've been asked about it, what have they said?
Yeah, we will be transparent, Calvin. We will do our due diligence. But here, we'll end the podcast on this. I'm sure you've actually met. I'm sure you've actually met Brandon Whedon before. Is he or is he not a jerk in real life?
I don't remember if I've met him or not, and he is not a jerk. He is
all right. See, there we go. Success. He's our first one. Not a jerk.
I will also say Doug Gottlieb, met him in person. Great human person. Great human being.
I don't believe that. He seems like
in person, great human being.
Yeah.
His takes have gotten a little controversial, especially lately here on Twitter. Talking about gun violence and stuff, and talking about being the video games. I just wanted to let everyone know video games exist everywhere.
Yeah. Oof.
It's not like USA is the only country with video games. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Well, it could be one of those that Gottlieb gets a first impression jerk, and then on second review, he's a nice guy.
Well, I'd have to go in and be like, no, in person, he's a really nice dude.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Under our category of first impression of not first impression, but just looking at his face, looks like a jerk, but he's not. See,
all right,
you go.
All right, I've got one last question for you. Okay. Draft your top 3. I'll do mine as well. Least favorite NBA players in the league right now, and it's least favorite. Period. There's not necessarily, you don't have to have a reason why. You could have a reason why. It doesn't have to be related to anything.
Okay.
Can I take the first overall?
I'll
take the first overall pick. Patrick Beverley.
Yeah.
Easily.
Easily number 1.
He says we in Minnesota now, or at least Carly Towns says that to him, as they proceed to lose that playoff series, and then you've got Patrick Beverley going on and giving your guy Chris Paul a lot of grief and hate because he didn't make it as far in the playoffs as Chris Paul did. So bench players are talking like starters, and I hate it. That's all I'm saying.
Hate Pat Bev. No.
I'm just gonna get that Drake quote, but whatever.
Yep, that's my number 1. Also, you want to go number 2?
Okay, all right. If we tied for number 1, yeah. Do you have a second? Do you have?
Yes, I have a second.
2? All right. Go for
coming in at number 2. Who is listed as a jerk on jerknornojerk.com. We have Draymond Green.
True. That's always going to be there. Kick Steven Adams right in the man area and still plays the rest of the series. No one's ever going to be explaining to me why that shot attempt had his leg go basically 90 degrees angled with the rest of his body, and then why he was able to do it again. And still play the rest of the series. So
he did it twice, once against us, once against the Cavs.
Yeah. So
and then also in this playoff series, he yanked a dude down in the Memphis series by the shoulder there, or by the jersey there.
But he did get thrown out of that game, though, right?
He did, but Dylan Brooks got suspended the next game for his foul.
True.
I think Draymond's was just as bad.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I'm trying to think of my third pick is. I gotta say, Kevin Durant doesn't make the list anymore for me.
Yeah,
he's not top 3. He's in the Eastern Conference. The Nets lost to the Celtics and got swept, and are actually going to go down as the only team to get swept this whole postseason, as any of the teams. That's a bad look. The Nets might blow the whole thing up. Kyrie Irving's a head case of sorts. I'm not sure if we want to go into that. The Nets don't look great. It still is the New York Knicks. It's not the New York or the Nets or the Brooklyn Nets, whatever is running that city. As of course for somebody who's never been there. But I gotta say, my third pick.
Oh, did you totally agree with Draymond
Green? Draymond's 2. Draymond's 2 for sure.
Draymond's 2.
Yeah. Third pick here. A little tough. Not gonna lie, but it might be. It's a sneaky pick, and I think Joel, the GOAT, DeNicola, would hate me for this. But LeBron's got a little sour taste. LeBron is really just driving home. Here's my thing about LeBron.
I'm texting him right now.
He is the most unrelatable NBA star we have. He makes he's like Drake in this sense. He makes so much money, but tries to be so relatable as a person to like you and me or to just anyone who watches basketball. And he's like tweeting throughout the playoffs. He's like, this guy's great. Oh, this guy's great, whatever. And it's like, well, is GM LeBron talking or is NBA fan LeBron talking? And then this is my key point though. So I gotta say this real quick. This is really why. Because I'm kind of scared of LeBron. Because he's talking so nicely about Sam Presti. This is my key thing, and I think Joel would understand here why I don't like LeBron for this reason. He's trying to steal our GM. He's like, Sam Presti, that guy he's talking All-Star Weekend. He's going on and on about Sam Presti. I feel like the second Rob Pelinka gets the Rob Pelinka, well, maybe he comes to Oklahoma City, then I'm not that scared at all anymore. But and then I'm a huge LeBron fan, and the whole script flips, whatever. Everything shifts 180. But for right now, he's buttering up the boy, Sam Presti, and Presti we trust. And I gotta say, not a big fan of that. Let's just let Presti be. Let us keep drafting these all-star caliber, rookie of the year caliber.
Yeah, no. All
guys, and don't just leave us be. Leave us Thunder fans be. Don't come try to steal our GM. Presti's doing great. Come on, LeBron, leave him alone.
I get it. All I was going to say is hold on to it, and we're going to bring Joel on next week, and then we can let you and Joel battle that. That's going to be a great topic. Great topic. Who I had at number 3, very quickly.
You just cut out. I don't know why your audio just cut out, but your audio is no longer with us. We cannot hear you at all. I'm not sure what happened. We lost Walter. I'm going to say he's...
Are we there?
Oh, you're here now.
Okay, yep. Ben Simmons. Yep. Ben Simmons. That's who it is.
Oh, good pick.
Ben Simmons is third. Just, I understand he's got some mental issues. I totally respect that. You have to play basketball, and then you can work on your mental issues on the side. We all have mental issues, and we all go to work.
True. I will say, not any direct hatred in my part towards Ben Simmons, just because he hasn't done anything against the Thunder. He hasn't done anything, what I mean? Like I'm a Homer fan at the end of the day. Like, we don't like Patrick Beverley because he screwed up Westbrook's knee, and during like the season we could have gone back to the finals. Let's just call it how it is. Whether he was just being too aggressive and too exuberant or not, he has not gone on to apologize or anything at all. He stood true in his fact of, nope, I bumped the guy's knee when he was dribbling the ball and was 3/4 up the court, and was face guarding that well because who knows? I mean, he's just playing aggressive defense. It's probably just part of the guy's game. I'm not going to hate him for forever about that one that much, but man, that one sting just because of what it meant for the rest of the Thunder, because it then just started a bunch of injury stuff year over year, it seemed, until 2016, 2017 season. And then Draymond Green. I mean,
I think we can agree.
They lost that fun. Like the Warriors didn't win that series in the finals, right? That was the series where Draymond Green kicked Steven Adams, and then the next series he gets tossed. Right. He kicks Tristan Thompson, and then a little bit later on, he's kicked out of Game 5, right? And then the Warriors end up not, the Cavs going to come back 3-1. So all is well that ends well. Karma there for Draymond, basically in that one season, but I'll be rooting for the Heat or the Celtics before I root for the Warriors in this finals. Who you got?
Yep.
You got it. Let's end that with this one. Who you got? Game 7 tomorrow night. Heat Celtics. Who are you taking? In Boston.
I don't know.
No. In Miami. In Miami.
It's Miami. No. I don't know. I'm going Celtics. I'll just go Celtics. I have no idea.
Go Celtics. I'm going Heat.
That's Derek.
I'm taking Miami Heat at home. Jimmy Butler, vintage game. Celtics just fall a little bit short here. Loser of this bet has to convince Joel to come on the podcast somehow, some way.
Oh yeah, no, easy.
That's it. The finals, you picking Warriors? You picking Celtics or Heat?
I picked Celtics, so I'm just gonna stick with the Celtics.
Celtics, yeah.
I'm
gonna say Warriors beat the Heat if the Heat end up winning, but the Celtics end up beating the Warriors if the Celtics end up winning, just because it's got better matchups there at the end of the day. Not sure necessarily why too much more than just Jason Tatum. With all being said, Walter, thank you so much for joining me here on the latest episode of The Catch-Up with your host, Calvin, Glen, Alexander, and Walter, don't know his middle name, Agnitsch.
I don't have a middle name. It's a symbol.
Walter,
it's like Prince.
Walter,
it's the Prince symbol.
No middle name Agnitsch. And shout out to Oklahoma State for, I think, winning against Texas in the Big 12 baseball tournament. So, that being said, thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you guys again soon.